Hello, Nevada. It is great to be back in Las Vegas. So on Tuesday at the State of the Union, I laid out my vision for how we move forward. I laid out a blueprint for an economy that's built to last, that has a firm foundation, where we're making stuff and selling stuff and moving it around, and UPS drivers are dropping things off everywhere. That's the economy we want. An economy built on American manufacturing, with more good jobs and more products made here in the United States of America. An economy built on American energy, fueled by homegrown and alternative sources that make us more secure and less dependent on foreign oil. An economy built on the skills of American workers, getting people the education and the training they need to prepare for the jobs of today, but also to compete for the jobs of tomorrow. We only have about 2% of the world's oil reserves. So we've got to have an all-out, all-in, all-of-the-above strategy that develops every source of American energy. A strategy that is cleaner and cheaper and full of new jobs. Now, a great place to start is with natural gas. Some of you may not have been following this, but because of new technologies, because we can now access natural gas that we couldn't access before in an economic way, we've got a supply of natural gas under our feet that can last America nearly 100 years. Nearly 100 years. And developing it could power our cars and our homes and our factories in a cleaner and cheaper way. The experts believe it could support more than 600,000 jobs by the end of the decade. We, it turns out, are the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. We've got a lot of it. We've got a lot of it. We've got to take advantage of this incredible natural resource. And think about what could happen if we do. Think about an America where more cars and trucks are running on domestic natural gas than on foreign oil. Think about an America where our companies are leading the world in developing natural gas technology and creating a generation of new energy jobs, where our natural gas resources are helping make our manufacturers more competitive for decades. We can do this. And by the way, natural gas burns cleaner than oil does. So it's also potentially good for our environment as we make this shift. So last April, we issued a challenge to shipping companies like UPS. We said, if you upgrade your fleets to run on less oil or no oil at all, we're going to help you succeed. We want to help you with that experiment. So we started out with 5 companies that accepted the challenge. And of course, UPS was one of the first. That's how they roll. So less than a year later, we've got 14 companies on board, and together they represent 1 million vehicles on the road. That's a lot of trucks. We should do more, though, and that's why we're here today. First, let's get more of these natural gas vehicles on the road. Let's get more of them on the road. The federal fleet of cars is leading by example. Turns out the federal government has a lot of cars. We buy a lot of cars. So we've got to help not only the federal government, but also local governments upgrade their fleet. If more of these brown trucks are going green, more city buses should too. There's no reason why buses can't go in the same direction. Second, let's offer new tax incentives to help companies buy more clean trucks like these. Third, let's make sure all these new trucks that are running on natural gas have places to refuel. That's one of the biggest impediments, is the technology. We know how to make these trucks, but if they don't have a place to pull in and fill up, they got problems. So we're going to keep working with the private sector to develop up to 5 natural gas corridors along our highways. These are highways that have natural gas fueling stations between cities, just like the one that folks at UPS, South Coast Air, and Clean Energy Fuels are opening today between Los Angeles and Salt Lake City. That's a great start. So now one of these trucks can go from Long Beach all the way to Salt Lake City, and they're going to be able to refuel along the way. And finally, to keep America on the cutting edge of clean energy technology, I want my Energy Secretary, Steven Chu, to launch a new competition that encourages our country's brightest scientists and engineers and entrepreneurs to discover new breakthroughs for natural gas vehicles. So we're going to keep moving on American energy. We're going to keep boosting American manufacturing. We're going to keep training our workers for these new jobs. But an economy that's built to last also means a renewal of the values that made us who we are. Hard work, fair play, and shared responsibility.